respect you, you have to learn how to uphold your promises to yourself. Because if you cannot uphold your promises to yourself, don't expect anybody else to uphold any type of promises for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Josephine. If you're new here, I give you lifestyle self-development and fitness. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome babes. Make sure you subscribe so that we can be besties. Okay. Anyways, hi guys, and if you guys know, every time we're sitting pretty, okay, that means we are here to talk. So let's talk. If you already haven't watched my previous video, which I dropped, and I was kind of giving you guys updates and also things that I've learned at 25 turning 26, and honestly I kind of like that video because it was a comeback for me. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you pause this and go watch the other video and come back to this. It will make more sense, okay? You guys know that I do not talk your head off. Every time when it comes to these videos, I get straight to the point. So let's get into this video. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 things that I'm going to do to elevate my life. If you haven't watched the previous video, I talked about how I felt like I took a pause and I looked at my life and I realized, whoa, this is not my life. I felt like I fell off. I let my brain trick me out of my spot. I felt like I could be doing more. I could be more tough with myself. And yeah, that led me to here. Yes, I have the experience to talk about it. And yes, I have been putting my own words to action, babes. Don't play. Let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about, I'm gonna look down because I took notes, so I want you guys to get everything in details. So the first thing we're going to talk about is staying disciplined and having the no matter what mindset. I mean, no matter what. Like I said in my last video, I let the act of self-love, self-care, borderline change me into a very lazy person. And it got to a point where it was just like, even the small minor convenience that would happen, I would use it as an excuse to not do what I said I was going to do. I'm not gonna lie, I did not keep a lot of promise to myself, and honestly, it's not a good look, because in order for you to respect your own self, in order for other people to respect you, you have to learn how to uphold your promises to yourself. Because if you cannot uphold your promises to yourself, don't expect anybody else to uphold any type of promises for you. And don't expect anybody to move correct when they're around you. People are going to move anyhow because you do not put yourself to a certain standard. And I've always put myself to a certain standards. I move the way I want to be treated. You know, you feel me? I'm very on point. But lately, I've been letting myself go. I've been relying more on motivation instead of discipline. With motivation comes with how you feel. With discipline is, I feel this way, X, Y, and Z. I'm still going to do it because that's what I said I was going to do. For example, this week, mind you, I'm in my luteal phase. My period can be starting anytime, TMI, but you get the point. I'm in my luteal phase. If you're a girl watching this, you know that in your luteal phase is the most dangerous phase ever. You're like, we get lazy, we get hungry, we crave things that we're not supposed to be craving. Everything just goes wrong during our luteal phase. We even feel ugly during our luteal phase. But this week, I told myself that I am not going to use that as an excuse. I am not going to use that as an excuse. Matter of fact, I am going to show myself how crazy I am, and I'm going to overachieve my goals. So usually I go to the gym or I work out 4 to 5 days out of the week. Babe, this week I worked out 6 days out of the week. Yeah, tomorrow is my birthday. 6 days out of the week I worked out. And on top of that, I challenged myself. If you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I started doing some side quests along with my winter arc goals, which was, one of them was going to Pilates. And if you know me, you know, like, I like my comfort zone. Like, you know, going to the gym is my comfort zone. What do you mean that I have to go to Pilates? You know, it's just very not me. So I was just like, no matter what mentality, I said I'm going to go to Pilates. I am going to go to Pilates. And babe, I went to Pilates 3 times this week. Like the first Pilates, it was with my gym membership. I felt like the instructor didn't know what she was doing. It was more stretching and everything, which was cool. But I didn't go to Pilates twice. I went to hot yoga and I went to Pilates. When I tell you I felt like an amateur in that room, I felt like I did not belong. Everybody was working out. Nobody was really taking breaks, and I was taking breaks. But after my second class, it was just like I had to tell myself, babe, you have to move like you belong into that room. Like if you continue to walk around and act like you do not belong in that room, you're going to continue to feel like it. So during my second class, even though it was my first time doing Pilates, because yesterday was hot Pilates, today was yesterday was hot yoga, today was hot Pilates. Even though it was my first time doing hot Pilates, not hot yoga, hot Pilates, and I was the only person stopping in the middle of the workout, it was okay. Why? Because I knew that I had to tell myself that I belong. Okay, all of this is going to make sense when I say this, right? When it comes to discipline, it's an identity. Discipline is your identity. Discipline is what you identify yourself with. If you feel like you're an amateur in a room, you're going to be an amateur in the room. If you feel like you're a reader, you're going to be a reader. If you feel like you are an athlete, you're going to be an athlete. And also, please understand, this is all backed up with action. Okay? So now I could say I'm a Pilates girl. Why? Because I know that I'm going to back it up with action and be at Pilates once or twice a week, you know? And that's what discipline is about. Discipline is like attaching yourself to a certain identity and knowing that no matter what, this is who I am and that's what I'm going to do. If you rely on motivation, motivation is not tied to identity, if that makes sense. Motivation is just like something that comes and goes and something that's not sustainable. You staying disciplined and having the no matter what mindset, attaching your identity to something is what is going to help you elevate in life and hit your goals. I know that sometimes a lot of people be like, because I asked that question myself, a lot of people are going to be like, okay, what do you mean by discipline? Like, what do you mean? Having the no matter what mindset. Unless you are dead, unless you can physically not move your body, you need to get up and do what you need to do on some David Goggins type of shit. Excuse my language. If you feel what I'm trying to say, like you have to be hardcore with your goals. You have to be very hard on yourself. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I feel like a lot of us are not as disciplined or cannot enhance that, like, you know, that energy of discipline because we're not too hard on ourselves. You have to be your own coach. Like I told a friend of mine a long time ago and she was looking at me like I was crazy, but honestly, I've always been crazy. It is what it is. Like, I feel like my alter ego is Kanye West and Tyler, the Creator, right? I've always been crazy about myself and my goals. Like nothing can ever make me think otherwise. So I was just telling her that, like, she was asking me how I was so disciplined with, you know, going to the gym and everything. This was like, you know, when I was like really into the gym, not now, but like when I was really into the gym. And I told her that, like, I have a coach in my mind. I have a coach in my mind. I have a coach in my mind that don't accept BS. Like every time that I want to take a break, every time I want to eat something that's not in my diet, I have this voice in my head that tells me don't do it. It might sound crazy, but honestly, that was my way of getting things done. And that was not a coach. That was my inner thoughts. Back then, I didn't know what inner thoughts was. I was not reading books and, you know, mindset and everything and subconscious and conscious mind. So when I was explaining to her and telling her that, like, I created a coach in my head, whole time, yes, at that time for me, in my head, yes, that was a coach, but in reality, that was my inner thought. My inner thought was so hardcore. That's what it felt like, you know? So back to the question on how do you become disciplined? You literally have to turn your inner thoughts into your slave, your mind into your slave. Make your mind your B-I-T. Make your mind your little, because I feel like a lot of us, we allow our mind to trick us a lot. Like this morning, my parents went to buy cookies, a whole bunch of different type of cookies, okay? And I saw my little sister enjoying, you know? The cookies was right there in my reach. I even reached out to it and I even opened it and I even grabbed a cookie. And I told myself, damn, one cookie's not gonna hurt. I've been disciplined for 2 weeks now. And then another voice came into my head, it is not worth it, put it down. Okay, sometimes you have to you have to make your mind your beach. Okay, I'm not gonna curse on here too much, but you have to sometimes say no to your mind. Your mind is always going to trick you. You have to turn that into your beat. You control your mind, don't let your mind control you. Anytime you have thoughts of being lazy, of slacking, of breaking promises, snap back. Tell yourself this is not what we promised ourselves. Point blank, period. Let's move on to the next one. So the next thing I want to talk about is restriction. Protecting your energy and your focus. A lot of y'all not gonna like this, but it requires you to isolate yourself. Yeah, I know you didn't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Let's get into it. Babe, not everybody deserves access to you. Not everybody deserves access to you. Not everybody can call up your phone every single time. Not everybody can text you about BS every single time. What I have been doing, and I've been doing this for years now, and I feel like it saves me a lot, and I feel like it helps me with my focus and my drive, is I limit the amount of people that can be close to me. And to somebody, it might sound like, oh, you do not want friends. I do have friends. Friends that are valuable, period. Like, my friends will not hit up my phone with gossip. They will hit up my phone if, like, you know, they have personal issues and everything. Of course, babe, I'm here for you. This is what I was made for. This is what I was born for. I was born to be a friend. But like, don't come to me talking about nonsense, gossip, things that's is not necessary. I don't want to hear it, right? So straying away from friends that will hinder you from being focused, and also draining your energy. You need to stay away from that, right? So for example, if you're around certain people, look me in the eyes. If you're around certain people and you feel unease when you're around them, why are you still around them? You know that is draining your energy. Whenever you're around certain things or certain people, it's supposed to uplift you, not downlift you. That's not even a word, but I know you felt that. Anytime you're around somebody and you feel unease, you feel like you're on edge, you feel like your energy is drained after you're being around them, hey, if you don't have the bones like I do and you don't know how to cut people off without blinking, distance yourself a little bit. Sometimes don't answer the phone. Sometimes don't text those people back. Sometimes say no to those plans. And as time goes by, you gradually start to see, oh my goodness, I feel good when I limit my, when I limit my energy from these people. Because let me tell you something, in order for you to achieve what you want to achieve before 2026, babe, you're going to need all the energy and focus you need. Wait, let me rephrase that. You're going to need all the energy and focus that you can require, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. You're going to need everything in you. And if it's split into different things and different people and different places, especially places that don't serve you, let it go or distance yourself from it. How many times are we going to talk about this? But it's crazy. Like, till this day, I get messages from people who don't know how to distance themselves from people that don't serve them and people that make them feel unease. What is going on here? Are those people putting money in your pockets? Are those people feeding you? Are those people putting a roof on your head? It's just a title. If they don't serve that title right, let it go. Period. And we're not done with restricting. Let's move from relationship into habit. Restricting yourself from bad habits. I put it down here, right? Certain things like late nights, unhealthy eating, binge scrolling. Is it binge watching? Binge watching shows. I'm really bad at that. Like, because I don't like to be on my phone. So I don't think that's that bad, but it can be bad. Just doing things overly, excessively. I'm just throwing words out there so that you can really feel me. Hear me out. I'm not saying cut all those things out like immediately. We're humans. We need some type of balance in our life. You know, sometimes we need to go out and socialize and have that up to 6 a.m. type of night so that we can have memories. That's fine. But doing that every weekend and you expect to hit your goals, you expect to be focused, you expect to do certain things, babe, let's be realistic here. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm not saying stop automatically, but once in a while is good. It's enough. It's enough. Yeah. The late night eating, and also late night, right, doesn't have to relate to going out. The people who don't go to sleep on time, you don't have a bedtime schedule, and you stay up past 11 or 12 or 1, what you gonna do? You're going to scroll on your phone and you're going to find something to put in your mouth. Have some restriction. Know that it's time for you to go to sleep. Know that it's time for you to put it down. And I said this in my last video. Always ask yourself, right? Before you do anything, ask yourself, is this helping me or is this harming me? Whatever you eat, is this harming me or it is helping me? Whatever you do, is this helping me or is it harming me? Whatever you watch, is this helping me or is it harming me? Whatever you say, is this helping me or is it harming me? AKA self-talk. Yes, I'm guilty of that. I sit here and be like, I tell myself, oh, I'm so stupid for doing that. That's a joke, but it's not a joke. Stop. Be kind to yourself because other people are not being kind. Something gotta give. Something gotta give, sis. Something gotta give. So let's be the one that's kind to ourselves, okay? Because other people might not be kind to us, period. So in the next talking point, it's not really what I wrote down, but it just came into my mind while I was reading what this means, what I had on paper, which is complaining and victimized mindset, right? A lot of us don't have the ideal life, but we're currently working on it, right? And life is not perfect, especially if you have to get out of the mud like me, you know? And it can get frustrating sometimes. It can get like, I have every right to be a crash out. I have every right to want to punch everybody in the face. I feel like complaining also takes away a lot of things, especially your mindset. And hear me out. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to complain about things that are going wrong in your life, because life can be very shitty. Trust me, I know, babes. I'm here, I know. But complaining, me personally, I feel like complaining too much sometimes can also drain your mentality and also shift your mindset from what it needs to focus on. So what I've been doing lately is, I complain here and then, but like sometimes if I feel like the complaining is not needed, I will just snap my fingers or just snap myself out of it and remind myself, it doesn't matter. If you can find a solution, don't talk about it. Don't waste energy on it. Move on to the next thing. Like sitting there to complain and waste energy and point fingers and be victimized mindset and victim blaming everything. I'm sorry to tell you that sometimes it's just a waste of energy, and it also like clouds your judgment and also clouds your mindset. And you could start the week off so motivated, having a great mindset. And then, in the middle of the week, people start to piss you off. Things are not going right. And it gets to a point where, yes, it happens. You forget about what your why was in the beginning of the week. You forgot about your goals. You forgot that you told yourself that I'm going to have a no matter what mindset. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. And, all the negativity can be more heavier than the positivity. And then it starts to cloud your mind and you just start to complain and victimize, blame, and everything. And I get it. I promise you, I get it. I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you that whenever that moment comes and you catch yourself, which is a blessing because a lot of people are not self-aware. You catch yourself, snap yourself out of it and ask yourself, is this something I can solve and save my energy? And if the answer is yes, solve it and save your energy. Like, it's not every day that you need to complain. Sometimes, hey, man, it is what it is. Fuck it. Do it. Do what is in front of you or work with what you got and move on to the next thing. So the next thing that I wrote down is elevating your environment. Woo! This one is eating in my regiment. This one is eating in my regiment. When I tell you, babes, I'm telling you, this one is eating in my regiment. My gym, right? My old gym, they have remodeled everything. I'm talking about from head to toe. It is giving a lifetime. It is giving Equinox type of gym, right? And when I tell you, being in that environment just motivated me so bad. If you're African, you know what this means. It means it's serious. It motivated me so bad. Like, it was just like, whilst I was working, I'm like making plans in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna be consistent with TikTok. I'm gonna be consistent with YouTube. I'm gonna be consistent with Instagram. And Lord and behold, babe, I have been consistent. You know, sometimes being in the same environment that is draining you and expecting for some energy boost or some creativity or some life changing is delusional. It's very, very delusional, right? And I have to be realistic as well. My living situation, I live in New York City. If I try to get an apartment on my own, even trying to get an apartment on your own in New York City, you need to be making breach. We're not there yet. And inshallah, we're going to get there. And I do not doubt, not even one bit, that God will not put me in that position. I will be in that position very soon, right? I'll probably get the hell out of the state. But if I cannot change my environment, if you haven't watched my last video, I explained why I can't change my environment. But if I can't change my living environment, everywhere else that I've stepped foot in has to be a 10 out of 10, babe. I don't think you guys understand how important that is. If your living situation cannot be changed, everywhere else that you step foot in has to be a place that elevates you mentally, emotionally, and physically. I don't think you're hearing me. My gym now, babe, because my gym remodel, I even order new gym clothes. Who am I? I even reward myself with new gym shoes because I conquer being on my diet and working out 5 days out of the week for two weeks straight. Yes, I know it's a little short amount of time for me to be rewarding myself, but whoop-de-doo, I'm motivated, I'm being consistent with what I said I was going to do. I'm seeing other people in the gym bring out their gigantic cameras, filming and everything. I'm like, oh, let me prop my camera on something and start filming too. Like, when you see other people when you see other people doing the same thing or even doing better than you in certain places, it will fill your gas. It will make you put your foot on the gas and put the pedal to the metal. I think that makes sense, right? And it trickled down to other things. Now I want to remodel my room. Even though I know I wanted to get out of this place as much as possible. If I can get out of this place yesterday, I would have got out of this place yesterday, But at the same time, it is my place. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to make it look good. It trickles down. Now I go to Pilates now. And in the Pilates environment, babe, I need to be on 10. Like, I need to be on 10. I need to be disciplined. This morning I was going to Pilates at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm seeing these babes running in this cold, 1. And 2, when I came out of Pilates, it was raining. They were still running in the rain. Disciplined, grown woman. It just trickled down. Be in spaces that you want to become. I don't think you understand. And if you cannot change your living situation, please change the other places that you step foot in. I promise you, that is such a freaking life changer. It switches a little bob in your head. And last but not least, the people. Ooh, make friends or date the right people. Just don't be dating anybody, or don't just be friends with anybody. Of course, in friendship, you want general, love and general connection and everything, but also be friends with people who inspire you. People who, motivate you. I promise you, it's a different kind of feeling knowing that your friend is rooting for you, knowing that your friend is going after something, you're going after something, you both are go-getters, you both are like motivating each other, helping each other, giving each other advice. It's a different type of feeling. So your people and the people you're dating, the people you're being friends with, the environment you're putting yourself in needs to be a 10 out of 10. Please make sure that you're being intentional about those things. I feel like that should have been number 1. But this is the point that I want you guys to understand. Okay? Let's move on to the last one. In order for you to be great, you have to start to be great. I don't think hopefully you're getting what I'm trying to say, right? In order for me to be good at Pilates, I can't just be good at Pilates. I have to start going to Pilates consistently and then I become great at Pilates. In order to be great, you have to start to be great. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But I put down that growth and fear coexist. If it scares you, it probably is your next move. Bam. When I was like looking for places for Pilates, I kept telling myself, like, Pilates is not for people like me. It's not a place that I'll feel comfortable. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie. My first 2 classes did I feel comfortable? No. Was I scared? Yes. Was my mind trying to trick me out of my spot? Absolutely. But did I do it? Yes. Whatever scares you is probably your next move. Okay, so put yourself in places that get you out of your comfort zone. Go out, go to certain events, do certain things that is out of your comfort zone. I feel like that is what's going to take you to the next level, especially if you are a creative person, One thing I've been doing is obviously challenging myself to do something that makes me uncomfortable, which is Pilates. I also am going to add like probably going to tennis. I don't know. I'm just going to sit there and brainstorm so many random things, and I'm going to uphold myself to it and get it done. Be very, very disciplined with yourself. I want to end it by saying this, right? I know this has nothing to do with anything, but lately I've been seeing a lot of like, when I go to places, like some people will look at me and you could tell it's a look of animosity or jealousy. I hope the animosity word, it means what I think it means. Like basically they're looking at me with like some envy eyes, negative eyes, right? And whenever I look at those people, and it's not in a way of judgment, because trust me, I've been up, down, sideways. Life has humbled me in so many ways. So I can never be somebody that judges anybody, right? But I sit there and I think to myself, like, do I feel jealousy and enviness towards certain people? No, right? And I feel like some people, jealousy comes from people who never kept a promise to themselves. So they're not angry with me or you, they're angry with themselves. And that's where projection comes in, right? And I'm saying all this to say is, we do not want to get to that age, or we do not want to get to that point in our life that we are so angry with ourselves that we start to project our anger onto other people, right? Somebody that is so consumed about themselves and their dreams and their goals and being the hottest and smartest and richest person that they know, they are not worried about anybody else, or don't have not even an ounce of energy to be envy or jealous of somebody else. They're either inspired or they're not paying you no freaking mind. And again, I'm saying all this to say, babe, I'm being so serious right now. And like, I joke a lot, right? But I feel like I need to tell you this, and I need to hear it myself. Please keep your promises to yourself and do what you need to do so that you do not project your anger out on everybody else. Live life to the fullest. And when I mean live life to the fullest, I'm not saying do it foolishly. I mean chase after your dreams and do what you said you're going to do. Be the best you that you can ever be, and more. Love yourself so much. And when I tell you, discipline means self-love. Somebody can look at me and be like, yo, she get up every day to go work out. She get up and do her makeup. She puts energy into her looks. She does this and that. She must love herself. Yes, babe, I love myself enough to be disciplined. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of us need to hear this. I needed to hear this myself, which I'm already on the journey on. Today is day 11 of my 30-day challenge, and honestly, I could not be more grateful. Alhamdulillah. Like, I am so grateful that God has granted me the strength. God has granted me the discipline, the focus, and also I've been praying for God to distance me away from the noise. If I go out, I go out, but like, I do not want unnecessary things and unnecessary people around me as well. So yeah, that's a few things I've been doing before 2026. And honestly, I don't care. I would die trying to be the best me that can ever exist. and y'all think I'm fine now? Y'all think I'm doing good in life now? Y'all think I'm doing something with my life now? Y'all think I have potential now? Just wait. But anyways, enough joking around and enough talking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I generally enjoy making these videos because like I feel like, one, I'm talking to myself and I'm also talking to somebody that really needs to hear this, and it makes me happy when you guys comment down below and say like things like this help you guys, or even if you don't comment, people that like it and everything. I love it. I love it so freaking much. Yeah, I had to reapply the lip gloss so that I can send you guys off with a proper goodbye. But with that being said, I love you guys and I enjoy giving information out to you guys. I enjoy, like, you know, sharing tips and giving you guys things to elevate in life. And also, I always say this and I emphasize on this every single time. If you even have advice or tips relating to what I have talked about in this video that can help me or other women and other girls, please make sure you comment down below, because your advice could be 10 times better than this video, okay? And you could be helping somebody, you could be saving somebody. No gatekeeping right here. We're always going to help each other. So with that being said, oh my god, I hate leaving you guys. Okay, let me stop. With that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye, bestie.